Hi everybody, how's it going? So we're just getting started. Sorry about the delay. It was just a scheduling technicality that ended up happening. But we've got Shinjini here, and we're just going to be interviewing her and finding out more about her and how that can help people like you, people like me, do better in our lives. So hope we could all learn from her, and we'll go from here. Yeah. So hi, how's it going? How are you doing?
Good. I'm doing well, Sharif. Thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
And anytime I get to connect with go-getters in different countries, I just think it's really fascinating. So thank you for doing it.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it's cool, so the go-getter thing. So about being a go-getter, I wanted to ask about your background. So for people who don't really know as much about you and maybe want to learn more, just to have some context there, let us know a bit about your background and who you are. Who's Shinjini?
Yeah, so I'm 27. I graduated from Georgia Tech in Atlanta, Georgia, in the U.S. Science and Engineering Institution in 2014 with an undergraduate bachelor's degree in industrial engineering, which really, Sharif, is the process side of engineering, right? It's processes, it's optimization, it's people side of engineering. So I think that was fantastic and #1 program in the world. So really great. Full ride merit scholarship to Georgia Tech. So I made a profit in college, which was awesome.
That's
I
awesome.
Graduated.
That's the right way to go. Most people end up in debt, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's
no
amazing.
debt. Opposite of debt.
But sometimes when
you
get a big income out of nowhere, like a big chunk of change out of nowhere, some people they don't handle it well. Some people they actually end up in debt because they get so used to a lifestyle that they can't sustain.
Yes, but thankfully it was just a little bit profitable. Wasn't
just enough to keep you precarious. I get enough. Okay, that's good. That's awesome.
Correct.
But yeah, keep going.
Correct.
Sorry for cutting you off there.
Yes. So 2014. So I engineer. Public speaker, competitive public speaker. I graduated from high school as a top 10 national finalist in America. It's called Future Business Leaders of America. Top 10 national finalists in public speaking. And even then, Sharif, we were talking because you have a daughter.
That's pretty cool.
It was, and it was very unique, for me to be, and I saw that even then. All the speaking competitions I went through, I was typically one of the only girls at age 15, 16. I was one of the only non-Caucasian girls. So, that was clear to me. It wasn't shocking because especially when I, was at Georgia Tech and I was commencement speaker, again, 10,000 people at a school, which at the time in my degree program was 70% male. It's a big deal. I can't, I think at the time I thought, I'm a go-getter. I'm going to go do it, and I sort of did it, but I can't lie and say that I didn't see that at every step of the way I was at a minority situation. Or on a minority level.
I guess I see what you mean. It's perceptible, is what you're trying to say.
You can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell and you can see it, and especially at Georgia Tech. It was very male dominated. And all the leadership, programs. And I saw more females there. I saw more women there. But again.
But I guess you're showing it has less to do. It has less to do with that because if you're able to do it, that means. Perhaps anyone could. It's just hard work, and it's true. It's not false to say that there are pre-established groups. There are pre-established, peoples who are usually considered associated with that culture, and that happens in any sort of niche, right? And it's different. It might be a different culture in a different niche. So to be able to do really well, for example, let's say a white rapper, for example, doing really well among the urban or mainly African American community, is showing you that it's possible if you put in the work and you focus and
correct.
Yeah, it's not really
correct. No,
you can break the barriers.
For me, the biggest thing was just the ability, just honing in on the ability, focusing on the skill. But I can't lie and say that I didn't see that I was in a minority at every step of the way. So once, I graduated, I joined Deloitte, which I'm sure you guys know about.
Deloitte, what's that? No, actually you have to tell me about it. I don't know.
Do you really? You don't know?
No, I don't. You have to tell me, no.
Okay, so it's called Deloitte Consulting. It's one of the big four. So it's KPMG, PwC, Deloitte,
Deloitte Consulting.
Young,
okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So like I think their core services were accounting, but I joined their technology consulting practice.
Nice.
Yeah. So again, dude, all guys. I mean, there wasn't a single woman on any of my teams.
Wow.
I'm just saying the truth. I mean, none of this is like made up. The only woman on the team was on maternity leave. I just thought it was strange. I mean, you imagine your daughter, she's 20.
It's a problem. They say it's in technology, because in the early days of technology, it wasn't like that, actually. Yeah. The early days, it was more 50-50, even maybe more females at some point. But then, it for some reason shifted really quickly all towards men. And I don't know why.
Yeah, dude, it's not cool. So for me, I found it strange because, I mean, even though I knew that I wouldn't do that my whole life, like, it would have been really nice to see a woman, like, doing, her family, doing her career.
Yeah.
But all the women I saw, I mean, at the senior most levels, 50 and single.
Yeah.
Which, again, like, if that's what you want, that's cool. But my thing was, I just felt, it was sort of claustrophobic, that was the only way, to make it is forget everything else. Just do your career. And
it's insane.
It was
I know.
Healthy representation. So spent about 1.5 years there in the technology consulting practice, and then I left, and then I got a digital marketing job for about 6 months. And meanwhile, because of my public speaking experience, and I was frustrated with the lack of representation in the media. There's fairly few females with voices, and women of color, and all this stuff. I actually started tweeting. On Twitter. In 2015.
Yes.
And that's how I was discovered by a TV publicist.
Oh, sweet. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So that's how it happened. Okay.
That's it.
I understand. Yeah. So because of the publicity, you were able to get more speaking gigs? Is that what it was?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Well, actually, the truth is because of the media. Because I was like on TV in Alabama, TV in Washington D.C. Just all over the country on different things. How to be a go-getter. How girls should code, girls should make robots, whatever. Like whatever I could talk about. Because I was 23, so I'm fairly young.
That's pretty cool.
And I actually joined a college speaking agency as a result of that publicity. And that's when my speaking fee went from $0 because I was an amateur to 4 figures.
Wow, that's amazing.
So
that's fun.
Yeah.
Wow, that must have felt good the first time you got paid for speaking, right?
Right, because that's something I think anyone can relate to, right? It's a skill that you've been doing sort of amateurly for years, right? By that time, I started at about 15, and I got my first check at 24. So that's 9 years of grind. So yes, that felt amazing. And also because it's such a weird industry, Shay. I'm Indian. Like, no one I know does this. Who am I going to talk to? My uncle?
Yeah, it's pretty weird. It's a niche. It's a small niche. Very small niche.
Like, who knows this? Like, no one knew. In fact, I got the opposite. They were like, you're too young. Who's going to pay you? And then, of course, I told my dad, I was like, you know what? Anderson Cooper, the CNN, he gets $25,000. This guy gets $50,000. This woman gets $100,000. Oprah gets $100,000, whatever. And my dad's like, yeah, who's going to pay you that? Because everything is negative, right? In the immigrant community, it's all like, it's not going to work.
It's the old cultures. All the old cultures are like that.
Right.
Like, so, even the old Arab culture is like that. The old Asian culture is like that. The old Indian culture.
Any minority group, it's like, you're not going to make it. Forget about it. This is not for us. We made it to America. Just be happy. You just be an engineer. You're going to get a 6-figure job. You'll be fine. So I think I had to deal with, all of that. And I went from 0 to 4 figures in, overnight.
Right. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Actually, it's interesting you bring that up, because from my perspective, like, I've always been into, like, the sort of the creative side and the technology side, and it's always kind of about, bringing them together. And I've kind of, like, had trouble sometimes trying to do that, trying to bring them together. But it seems that you have a similar dynamic, I feel, because you have the engineering side, so you have the interest in the technology and that kind of thing. And but you at the same time you have the speaking side, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing, because speaking is so simple, engineering is so like advanced.
Yeah.
Right, but they actually kind of
yes and no, dude.
come close to each other.
No, speaking is not that simple. It's actually very analytical. The process of creating a message, segmenting your audience, figuring out who you're targeting. I use my degree every day, Sharif.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but I mean, like, in terms of, like, everybody has to speak. Like, it's like it's such a basic it's such a basic skill, and it's amazing because when you look into it, when I was doing a lot of polling about these subjects, I found out that people do value public speaking a little bit more than even like engineering. A little bit. Like they're pretty close. They're actually pretty close. But public speaking will inch ahead just a little bit. And it's just, it feels like such two different opposite extremes almost, if you know what I mean. Like, you know, that the engineer is like sort of nerdy and they're not social and they don't talk.
Right.
You know, and then like the public speaker, like people are deathly afraid of public speaking. Right.
It's sort of the social butterfly, you know, thing. And it's funny because I actually, and it's funny you said that, Sharif, because I actually tap into those sides of my personality. Like when I'm head down, you know, in sales mode or selling or segmenting, like I am the engineer. You know, I'm quiet. You know, I have my headphones in, I have my AirPods in, and I'm, you know, just I'm quiet because I'm an introvert. You know, so I love that time that I can just grind because that's my zone.
Nice.
And then actually in front of the public, being out, being glamorous. Hello. I mean, it's a lot of energy, man.
Exactly. That's a good way to put it. It's a lot of energy. So yeah, at one point I was trying to really, trying to put out a lot of content, like live content, whatever, while at the same time trying to maintain that back end kind of stuff. Yeah. It's very challenging to do, actually.
See?
So
there you go.
And you're pretty awesome. Like you're doing the Instagram and all that kind of stuff too. Where are you on right now? Which
ridiculous.
What kind of and we'll transition to this topic of what it takes today. But so how many social media are you on right now? And how much? More importantly, how much like which ones are you posting to and how often?
Yeah. No, thank you for asking. And actually, I just posted about this yesterday, Sharif. That October 2018, we were doing 1 million views on Twitter a month. Nice. And now we're doing 7 million. So in a year, literally 365 days, we've gone 7x. Which is absurd. And I don't use ads. You know, I'm pretty much just targeting, you know, new followers and they're following me and, you know, they love me in like 5 seconds. And I know I'm really proud of that because to me, like how many followers I have, Sharif, is not the metric of success. Because again, this is the engineer talking.
It's definitely not. Yeah, I know.
Right. The metric of success is the stickiness. Like if you were to score the stickiness from 1 to 10, it is the stickiness of the brand that I'm building. And I'm very proud to say that it is a highly sticky brand. And that is a metric that I'm proud of and that I worked on.
Yeah, that makes sense. It absolutely makes sense. So, yeah, because it's a totally different
platforms.
thing. You're on 6 platforms.
I post on all of them, generally. Most of them.
Most of them, right? Where do you feel strongest? You Twitter, I guess, and after
Twitter and Instagram.
Instagram, I see your Instagram's good. Yeah. What about, are you on LinkedIn at all?
Yeah, dude, I'm big on LinkedIn because again, you know, there's just not a whole lot of women in business. I mean, dude, I'm in my 20s. Like I'm hitting a lot of.
I didn't know you were that young. Actually, I didn't know you were that young because you seem like pretty, you know.
No. I started my media company at 24 and I'm 27.
Okay, Well, that's awesome. Good for you. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So I'm big on LinkedIn. I'm actually pretty big on LinkedIn.
Yeah. That's awesome. I got a good amount of connections, but I haven't been posting as much on LinkedIn. I really should be. I feel like more. I love Twitter. It's just like Twitter is. Really
awesome.
The main thing I use. I couldn't really get into Instagram. It took me forever. Like now I'm actually posting a little bit. It's good. I like it, but
it's a hustle. It is a hustle. And I'll tell you this, men and women who succeed on Instagram, there's a very specific formula. Because if you and I are both coming from the like math, you know, world, I mean, there's a very specific formula to succeed.
And I bet you it changes too, you know? It changes just like Twitter, right?
Right. But I'm saying like you have to hit those quadrants to win. Like you can't just like be random and win on Instagram. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so how do you do things? Do you do things mostly solo? Do you have a team, or how do you go about things? And so what does it take? Is it more about your energy and your discipline, or do you feel it's more about something else? More about like your abilities, like your technical abilities, your skills, or your ideas, or that kind of thing. What do you think is more? How are you doing things in that regard?
Yeah, good question. So I do have a team. I use Upwork, which I am sure you've hopefully heard of. But it's a global.
Yeah, I do know Upwork. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. It is awesome.
Yeah.
Global freelancing site, freelancer site. I mean, I love my team. I think they're fantastic. They're phenomenal. It also allows me to keep everybody at a decent budget, right? Because we're still, and we'll continue to be self-funded, Sharif. I mean, there's no reason for us
if you can, if you can own and do well, then why not? It's hard to do, but if you can do it, then you should.
Exactly, right? So no, I love Upwork, so that is my team. Right now, Sharif, it is just me because everybody is sort of off and on. It's when I need them. So, I'll hire the graphic designer back when, I need her services. I will hire the photographer back when I need his services. So at this very moment, I think I have like one or two people in limbo, but really it is mostly me doing the content production across all 6 channels. And that's the thing, people don't understand. They're like, oh, so where's your platform? I was like, no, this is my platform. All 6 platforms together is my platform.
So it sounds like I feel I could just tell by the way you were talking about all of this, especially the social media stuff and Twitter and all that. I could tell that right away that you know like in detail how to do the technical stuff in Twitter, like how to actually get Twitter to work for you organically, just through your work, like through your sweat, be able to do well on Twitter in various aspects, whether it be followers or engagements or just, building relationships, which is really what you want, right? So
I mean, we connected on Twitter, and that's the thing that I do, dude. I mean, I'm sending hundreds of DMs a day, mostly for people to follow me on other platforms. Did you buy the book? Did you, what was the other thing I said? Oh, are you signed up to my newsletter, Go-Getters Club? And it's and people are like, why are you doing that? Just, build a website, get people to do it from there. And I was like, I mean, obviously that's the goal because I don't have time to do it with everyone. But at this point, 200,000 people on Twitter is not 200 million yet. So I have the capacity and time, to reach out. And I mean, you'll be amazed, Sharif. I mean, men, first of all, my audience is majority male, which is another preconception. People are like, oh, it's all women. It's not.
Actually, I know there's an actress who's also verified, like you, Tamela D'Amico, I think her name is.
Okay.
Amico, like Tamela Amico. I think. Anyway, she's similar to you. Most of her audience is actually male, but she's a very strong woman who is doing well in her industry. Very classy, I think. So why not?
She's an actress.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, she's a speaker. She's a public speaker. She's in industrial engineering. I was just answering a question here. But now she's actually a professional public speaker, and also she runs online business through social media. She does very well with social media.
Media company.
Yeah, you can say a media company.
Go-getters.
Yeah, we should all really be media companies.
That's right.
You've heard that before, I'm sure, from like Gary
I
Vee.
Believe it.
This is true because of social media, the access and the level playing field.
Yes. Correct.
So anyway, I'm impressed. I'm impressed by how you know so much. You're able to do so much with so little, and you're succeeding.
Thank you. That's a backhanded compliment, but I'll take it.
No. That's not what I mean. Not because you need to, but because you're awesome. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and also I want to say, Sharif, you were saying like my skill. I honestly believe like my skill and my talent, and this is something that I saw even at the companies that I worked at. Was and I'll be honest, a lot of the guys, Sharif, and nothing against all of you, but a lot of you guys don't look at the whole picture.
I can see that. It's
either coding 24/7.
Yeah.
Or it's marketing 24/7, or it's sales 24/7. Whereas if you look at me, I am a full stack. I'm an engineer. I create all the content. I'm creative strategy. I'm image. As you can see, all my photo shoots are no less than Vogue photo shoots. I've managed all of those. So I think that's what you're getting with me. And that's why
you know what the thing is? And I like the way you responded because the way your response was something I actually was concerned with before. In that, like, if I say, hey, I got a solution for you, you can go and you can put the sweat in, you can put the work, you can put the time, you don't got to really put in that much money, and then you can get an ROI on that.
Right.
Some people might think, oh, it's because you don't have the money, that's why you're doing that, right? That's one perspective, right? But another perspective is, no, if you already have like however amount of money and you have the option between I could get this many results by putting in some money or get this many results without putting any money, and if you enjoy that, and actually it's better because you're more legit.
Correct.
You're talking with people directly. Like you said, this is a pure amazing thing for your brand, and most importantly, relationship building, right? Like your reputation.
And also, I think for me, Sharif, as an entrepreneur, as a media company founder, my success is how many dollars I can get from the market, right? Because investors, I don't know. I mean, I'm not selling a product to them. I'm selling a proof of concept, right? So for me, anytime I sell the book, to me, that's really exciting.
Yeah.
Because it's
sure.
a memoir at 26. The only people's memoirs at 26 you would read are celebrities, So for me, I really think I've made it. By selling 428, copies already. We're just getting started. Yeah, no, it's a lot of work. I don't think people realize this. It's a lot of work. Like, It is. It's crazy. 18 hours a day on social media. For what? For what? Yeah, well, you have to enjoy it. You have to enjoy it, or else it's not worth it. That's the thing. Even if you get like an official publisher, everything you get on, you still have to sell it yourself. Correct. And I don't think people understand what it takes to sell that much. That's something that a lot of people don't do, Sherry. That's like a lot of authors. They're always like, oh, the publisher will do it, the agent will do it, and then that's why they fail because they don't realize that they have to be a go-getter. They have to go get their goals. Honestly, if you want to be like a media company, even if you know how to make all that return with nothing, you still probably need some kind of backing, like some kind of income or some kind of savings or something, some kind of assets to have a foundation on anyway. But why not be able to do more with less? Correct. While you're in that, because you're going to stay lean and mean. I think 100%. It's the best way, because if you have to scale up, let's say you got to go to like 50 people, right? Right. If within the 50 people everybody's bloated and like overusing resources and stuff, you're going to go bankrupt. Yes. Correct. Right. And by the way, you're seeing that, right? You're seeing that with some of my favorite, accessories retailers going bankrupt. Right. A lot of the media companies that Sharif, are highly unprofitable, like the opposite of profitable. Yeah, absolutely. They've been running for years. I won't take names, but you can Google them and see for yourself. Yeah. Some of them have had flash sales for literally $1. So it's not a pretty picture for anybody in this world, which is why the only way that I've found that I can game the system, is by selling to my audience, number one. Number two is building authentic relationships to create an actual business need. So I think your question from somebody, what is she? There's no former engineer, former public. So I'm an engineer, I'm a speaker, I'm a go-getter, and what I'm doing is something that people need. I'm not doing anybody a favor. By motivating you to go get your goals. Without me, some people, they're not able to get on with their day, which means that now this is a productivity loss, which becomes a capital loss. That's what I'm trying to illustrate because I'm working with the U.S. Department of State now, with their keynote speaker program. So everything that I'm doing is a lot less about me, and it's more about the business need of the $10 billion, global self-improvement market. Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's in the end, it's you can't win really just by being exploitative all the time because everyone can see that, everyone knows it. It's obvious anyone can do it. So instead, it's all about the person who has the best brand, which really just means the best reputation, right? And the person who's giving the most value, who's providing, and that's how you create that demand, right? When you're giving so much. Then people start to, expect that from you. And, some people want to go deeper. And if you have something to offer, then it's positive. They want that. They're happy. They're fulfilled by that. 100%. Right? 100%. Yeah, so we're in a good place now. Yeah. It was rocky. Last year was rocky. Yeah, and you've been at it for a long time. I've been watching you. I've seen you on the social media for a long. Yeah, because I think we connected years ago, didn't we? We connected like
5 years ago or something. Like so many. Like we didn't really talk. We didn't really talk or anything until recently.
Right.
Like the last few weeks or something. But like we connected like years ago. So and you were already very strong, I think, from way back.
Yeah. Right.
So.
Well, which is funny. Like that's what I'm saying. It's so funny to me because most of my biggest press, I mean, Forbes, right? 4 things this 24-year-old did before she became a CEO, Inc. magazine, Global Hero. All of this happened 3 years ago, which is so funny because I had nothing. You know, so I've almost gone backwards, right? I've had this like amazing publicity, which frankly people paid for, which I didn't pay anything for either of them. They found me, Forbes found me, Inc. found me. And then I had to backtrack and say, oh my God, I don't have a following. So I got to build a following. And now, as you're seeing, I'm sort of sharing those articles again because a lot of people who are following me now have never seen those.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, wait, but everything is so wait, you're 24? I was like, dude, this was written 3 years ago. People age. So it's funny. It's funny.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's amazing. Because at one point you were saying you're getting like 7 million impressions on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
So at one point I was getting like over 1 million impressions.
Yeah.
But I wasn't doing really anything. Like honestly, I wasn't doing anything. It was just the way I was using Twitter.
You were publishing like videos or something. I mean,
I was doing like I mean in comparison to later, you know what I mean? Like I was getting so many impressions, and I was starting to get into it, starting to do stuff. I was trying to get my YouTube going, so I did a ton of content in there. But like I just mean like I didn't really know what the heck I was doing. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying I was getting all these impressions, but I didn't really know what I was doing. Okay. And since then, like I've actually had a reduction in impressions, but I actually know what I'm doing better, so it's way more fulfilling. So it's like to be able to get both at the same time. It's hard. It's like trying to get that publicity you got there while at the same time actually having a legit business behind. People don't understand. Like you could be super publicized and have nothing, or you could have like a sick business nobody knows about you.
Right. And that is my training, Sharif, as a metrics person. Like every day I'm like, okay, so are my numbers going up? Is my revenue going up? Is my perception going up? I'm really looking at 3 quadrants, not even 4. I mean, it's my overall perception, right? Which is why I love that you guys are picking up on the positive energy, because again, the more positive the perception, the more positive you feel about me. So I think that's exciting. You know, I'm a go-getter. You're helping me go get my goals. You're motivating me. Is my revenue going up? Check. Are my followers and impressions going up? Check. I mean, really, that's what I'm looking at every day. So. Yeah,
that's pretty awesome. So let us know about your book. Can you let us know a little bit more about your book? And I'm interested to know about this.
Yeah.
What is this about?
Okay, so it's called Unapologetically Shinjini. Basically, it is a memoir at 26 because I was inundated with questions about how did you get on TV at 23? How did you get discovered? You know, you are an engineer. How are you in the media? All these things, you know, and frankly, I don't have time to answer people individually. So I thought the best strategy would be to write a book, very short. It's, 105 pages, ebook.
Nice.
Because again, my audience is digital, is online. So I thought this was the best, sort of first step into this domain as an author, first time self-published author. So I funded the whole thing myself and, published it for the first time, Sharif, in June 2018. Yeah. So that was like the soft launch. But now we're like playing. It's big time. It's exciting because everybody even the Forbes article and stuff, you don't really know much about me from that, you don't know my house, you don't know that I'm a competitive public speaker. Because I think when you see me now, you're like, oh my God, she speaks at 27. I mean, I started at 14, and I was state champion of Georgia at 16. I haven't had a normal life, so I need people to know that to contextualize where I am today.
Yeah, you had a good foundation.
Forbes, they're like, they were like, oh, 24-year-old, she's in Forbes. Like, why am I not in Forbes? But it's because I've had 9 years behind that or whatever. Yeah,
right? I believe that competency is actually what will build the confidence that you have, right?
Yeah.
And you need that confidence to be able to do all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, like I was saying before, even though that I didn't really know what I was, 100%. Didn't really know what I was doing. Because I had done so many things before, I had the confidence
Right.
there. And I think that's really what helped me to figure out how to get more, branding publicity without even knowing what the heck I was doing. I was going a lot further than most people,
Yes.
So.
Yeah, no, totally. Because you have experience. I love that.
Yeah, and that's how I actually learned. By doing that, by just getting into the trenches, getting in the weeds, so to speak, to figure out how things are in real time, even if you don't fully know what you're doing, once you start figuring things out and then you can go look back.
Totally.
Then you have like a degree of knowledge, right? Or several degrees of knowledge.
Yes.
On the subject, right? So that's awesome.
Correct.
All right, so
that's awesome.
So how could people find you and your website, or you have a website, right? Or how do people get your book? That's what I'm curious about right now.
It is on a website. It's called www.unapologeticallyshinjini.com. That is the easiest way to do that. Right now, my personal website, my company website, all of it are in dark mode because right now my focus is social media and the focus is the book. So I don't see a reason to launch everything right now because it's just too much information. So right now, all of my revenue, for the most part, because we're also doing media partnerships and other things to sort of accelerate the Gogetter brand. Most of my revenue is coming from the book right now. So I just see no reason to switch focus. So right now it's pretty much unapologeticallyshinjini.com.
That's impressive.
$12.99. Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, dude,
that's uncommon. By the way, most people are not able to do that. I just want to make that clear. Like, most people expect that you're going to get like 10,000 sales, your first book launch, No, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. Most people are lucky to get 10 sales.
That's right.
Dude, I mean?
That's so right. Especially with the book. Like, I feel like if I had come out with bracelets, if I had come out with hoodies, if I had come out with necklaces, like I think that would have been like, wow, this is so, like I have 10,000 necklaces in a day.
Well, even with the
book,
And here's the thing, even with a book, you're actually, just so you know, since we're on the subject, a tangible physical printed book will probably sell better. Like the fact that you're selling that many ebooks is impressive because I think it is 30% of the market. It is 30 or 40% of the market, but most of the market, like 60+% is actually the physical.
Yeah. So my thing is like between you and me, paperback is sort of a hassle to get together in a self-published way, and with the ebook, I'm paid 24 hours. So the problem with like paperback and Amazon is checks are monthly, which at this point is not cool with me. So right now I'm just trying to sell the hell out of this ebook. I'm trying to get as many thousands and thousands and thousands of copies going. And so I'm rolling in cash, right? And then I do whatever I want. So
that's a good plan. That's really focused. I like that. Really focused.
Thank you. I'm working on other things, dude. Our media partnerships are 5 figures, and we have sold a couple already. So, there are other streams. So it's like, we'll promote a sales conference, Go-Getter brand, because the Go-Getter, it's no longer even so much of a movement as it is a brand, which is grounded in a movement, of course. So, if other people want to get in on that, there is a, 5-figure fee to that. So in terms of, you use the hashtag, you use our audience, just create a movement, So
you got several tiers of things of what you're doing, right? And you're working with
right. Right. So people are like, so it's just the book? No, it's not just the book. my speaking engagements are 5 figures.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, there are other revenue streams, but at this point, dude, it's going very well. 500 units almost sold with very generally little effort.
Good for you. So, good for you. Keep it up. Yeah. Keep it up. Do it as much as you can because that in itself promotes you. Promotes you. How much sales you got.
Thank you.
Itself is a promotion.
Thank you. That and also with Stripe and PayPal. I really am thankful to them. Because I'm paid every 24 hours, which, as you know, cash flow is the biggest thing in any business, but particularly
I love PayPal
which
too.
is self-funded.
I love PayPal too. So, great results for me too with PayPal. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Feels so good getting those payments in PayPal, and then just being able to it feels good getting those payments in PayPal.
Yeah.
And then just being able to transfer it to your bank account or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's fantastic.
Love it. I'm trying to bug Stripe about enabling my instant payouts because I haven't gotten access to that yet.
Yeah, I haven't used Stripe yet, but it seems quite good for credit cards, right?
Yes, it's awesome. Because my people are like all over the world, so are literally all over the world. So, I mean, I'm processing, South Africa, I'm processing Dubai, Durban, everywhere. So yeah, Stripe is awesome. I love Stripe.
All right, so I've got one last question. So what do you give it as a tip for people or who are just getting started like this? Like we're talking about so much stuff, and it can get pretty technical. It can get pretty like big picture sort of ideas and vision type stuff too. But what if people are just starting out and they don't really know all this stuff? I think it could be intimidating. So what's something you would tell to like let's say some beginner go-getters to do to get started?
Yes. The first thing, Sharif, because I noticed that a lot of, like you said, go-getters who are just starting out are struggling with finding their area of passion. So I think stop trying so hard. The minute I just backed up and I just said, hey, just close your mind. What am I thinking about right now? And I got my answer. The answer was I'm thinking about speaking. So immediately then I said, okay, so speaking leads to media, which leads to a media company, which leads to CEO, which leads to autonomy, which leads to control over my life and my trajectory. And as a woman, and you have a daughter, so you better give a shit about this. Basically, women
and
don't...
people, I care about all people, so...
No, as in, dude, we don't really have a lot of control in our careers in a traditional sense. So when we are in technology, it's always men handling everything. And so I just didn't feel like I have a voice. So for the first time, now I'm creating my own platform, my own company, that I get to give myself a voice, and I think that's really powerful. So what I'm saying is, instead of thinking so hard about what your passion is, just lean into it, just tap into it and say, okay, so what am I naturally thinking about today? And then what does that lead to? Does that lead to my own business? I don't know. Does that lead to me working at Google? I don't know. That's up to you to figure out. But just think about where you're naturally going to, and I promise you that that's going to get you on the journey. And then, of course, in terms of goals, I'm a very simple person there. I have my to-do list. I have my deadlines, and I'm relentless in just crossing things off. It really is about discipline, as you said. It's about hard work. It's about not partying. When you have to get your work done, the rules are pretty simple, dude. The rules are pretty simple. They have not changed. Absolutely. So I think a go-getter, pays attention to those.
That's amazing advice. I can vouch for that because I've gone to the extremes, like where I'm focusing too much on the discipline, but not actually leaning into like what I truly want to do.
Like what you want to do. Right.
Yeah. Or other times.
I gave you an end-to-end. I gave you an end-to-end solution.
You did. Exactly. And like, or I would focus too much on, what's my passion, but then not getting anything done.
Right. Dude.
Right. So
passion, execution.
Absolutely.
It's true. Yeah. It's true.
All right. Well,
that's how I roll.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was really a big pleasure to have you on here and to talk with you and to learn, get some of your amazing insight. I'd be happy to work with you again, whatever works best with you. And just thanks for being on. You're awesome.
Thank you for being a great dad and a great, go-getter. I appreciate you. Thank you. No, and I was up late last night, so I was following all the Canadian election tweets. So I feel connected.
What do you think? Does it matter? Like the people in the States, they care about that stuff?
It's just, for me, it's just fascinating because they're all my target audience. So like everybody liking those tweets is my target audience because they need motivation and everything. It's just fascinating to me to see what they care about.
So you have a lot of Canadians in your audience. Oh.
Dude, I have everyone. Like, name one country. I have everyone. Honestly.
Seriously?
I think Antarctica might be what I don't have. But honest to God, I have like all of Africa. I have India, definitely.
Wow.
I have a lot of, Iran, Middle East, a lot of Middle Eastern women, Dubai, Malaysia. everything, dude. I have everything.
I bet you have a lot of England and US, right?
Of course, yes. We have majority U.S. We have majority U.S. And majority male. which is good because I am sort of branding myself as an American first. So that's good. Of course, a lot of India, England, and everything, dude. Everything.
Awesome.
I'm amazed.
I've got people from all around the world too, but mainly it's the U.S. Like that's like half my audience is half my audience is U.S. Yeah,
okay.
And then
you're not from America? Like, are you?
I'm Canadian. I'm Canadian.
Okay.
I'm in Canada. But like about a third of my audience is like in the UK, like huge, like huge amount. Maybe a little bit less than that, but a large amount. Yeah. And then the rest is like all over the world.
All over the world, yeah. But isn't that beautiful? I think that's so beautiful.
It's amazing. I love it. And it's funny because the people you actually end up talking to aren't necessarily the places where there's the majority of people. It could be some like, little island or town in who knows where that you're talking to this person, and you're making a relationship with this person, and it's interesting. It's just very
unreal. It's unreal. And then us, like I know for me, like being an immigrant, being Indian, that is a huge connection with like, brown people.
Yeah.
Just people of color. They really relate to me and us. And no, I think it's fantastic. I'm humbled by the power of social media. I'm humbled.
Absolutely. Same. You all people want the success. Not everybody wants the pressure, right? So.
Pressure, but also every day, dude, I wake up and I look at the size of our market. I mean, it's
amazing, yeah.
I mean, if and this is, and it's so funny, like, these are, like, every day I'm like, oh my God, like, Justin Trudeau is tweeting, like, I could talk to him right now. Like, it's just, it's amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it's unreal, because a lot of them manage their own accounts. I mean.
Yeah. It's funny, I've met Trudeau for like a couple seconds in an airplane because he's like his dad. His policy is fly with economy class like everybody else.
Yeah. Wow.
So I've met him actually a couple times. It's funny. I just happened to be on the same plane.
Of the people.
Yeah, and also I've seen him driving around in his car before because I live like really close to where he's coming from. Like he lived not far from here, and my kids go to the same school he went to. So. There you go.
Wow. I think it's unreal. And by the way, I don't want to, I know we're wrapping up. I don't want anybody to think that, so now everything is really easy. I don't have to do anything. I just have to create a Twitter account and there you go. Like I do want to emphasize, the importance of having your own brand, of having your own voice, of working very, very hard, Sharif, because these are a lot of people to manage. I mean, I joke with you. I said I have 200,000 direct reports every day.
Yeah.
It's not a joke. I'm not just having fun every day. It's a rigorous schedule of content production, follow up, sale, which is why like my parents they're like, you're on Instagram all day. I was like, no, you don't understand. Instagram has more people a month using it than the populations of some countries.
Absolutely.
So it's no longer like a joke or funny. I'm not laughing every day. So this is serious work. I mean, building a media company with roots online is a serious business. It's not a joke. So I just want to, because a lot of people think it's like easy now. Everything is easy.
No. Actually, it's just that the playing field has been leveled. That's all.
Right.
Which means also the competition is much higher.
Correct.
So
Correct.
It's a trade-off.
Correct. Absolutely.
So it's still going to be a challenge.
Lower barrier to entry. Lower barrier to entry. Higher barrier to stay.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my goodness. Yeah, if you don't have a solid foundation, solid back end of what's going on there, you won't be able to sustain the front end anyway.
Right. There you go.
So.
Yeah. That's right.
All right. Awesome. Well, fantastic. So great to have you on.
Of course. Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
And all my best to your family. And I'm just so proud of, you being a go-getter and continuing the hustle and just create that plan, go get those goals. And I look forward to being in touch.
You're awesome. Thanks so much.
Of course. All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
See you.
You too.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. So that was Shinjini. Hope you enjoyed the interview. She was a lot of fun and amazing, inspirational person. And I hope you got a lot of value out of that. All right. I'll catch you next time. Take care.